train ride home, it suddenly hit me. I'll challenge the Wright brothers' distance record of 122 feet with my paper airplane. I mean, how outrageous is that? So I present it to Simon & Schuster, and they say, yeah, we love it. Do it. So they organize, they get another party involved, a promotional type outfit that sets up the whole thing with Good Morning America. They're going to send a crew down with me to a place called Devil Hills, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is where the Wright brothers actually flew from, but the history books say Kitty Hawk.
Yeah.
And when I got there, this outfit that was setting this whole thing up had a banner made that they unfurled that said Kitty Hawk on it.
Oh no.
And some of the natives were getting very, very upset. And meanwhile, I'm by the big rock where they first took off,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know what the heck's going on, but there's a disturbance there. The natives, the locals rather, were feeling very offended by, this is not Kitty Hawk, this is Devil Hills, and this is where the Wright brothers first flew. Get that damn sign out of here.
So why is Kitty Hawk associated with their flight?
Taken down. At any rate, I started setting up to throw, and they started filming and so forth, and somebody pointed out that, no, I was facing in the wrong direction. I was facing directly into the wind when I should be flying with the wind. And I said, no, I want to go into the wind, because my idea was there was a 25 to 30 mile an hour wind coming in off Cape Hatteras. It is very windy there. And I wanted to launch my planes directly into the wind, which would take them up high, and then and also on a slight angle. And when I did that, they would climb up into the air and turn and go with the wind. And my longest flight was 401 feet 4 inches. So I went home a very, very happy camper. I had outdistanced the first manned flight of 122 feet.
Wow.
And
was that the first powered flight?
oh no, it wasn't powered. It was hand launched.
That's what I thought.
A paper airplane.
Oh no, the Wright brothers flight.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yes, that was the first powered manned flight. Yes.
All right.
Yes, 122 feet.
And one quick question: why is Kitty Hawk associated with their first flight then?
Why is what?
Kitty Hawk associated with the Wright brothers' first flight.
Good point. Very good point. Because that is where the telegram was sent from. Okay. See, the funny part of history is it's a bit of a distortion and not always accurate. But whether maybe Kitty Hawk sounded good or people just didn't bother, or all they knew is, well, we got the telegram from Kitty Hawk that the Wright brothers have flown. Yay! Break out the champagne, you know. That's the end of it. You know, from then on, it was known as the Wright brothers flew at Kitty Hawk, and that's totally incorrect. Totally. So, at any rate, from there, I went on to David Letterman to promote the book, and had some fun there. And then everything, and by the way, this was all occurring in 1985, and everything just died down and faded away, and nothing really much was happening. I mean, it was just being totally ignored, the KF airfoil. So it wasn't until 2006 when a man from Canada named Tony Bernardo, who went by the handle Tony 65 by 55, because he's a kind of a stocky guy, and that's what he decided to call himself, decided that he would experiment with this KF airfoil that he had heard about. And he had a son, Tyler, whose claim to fame was he crashed every RC plane he flew. And so he went out to a field with Tyler and had an old Zagnet's flying wing with a semi-working motor and a used battery. It was just an experiment, right? And by God, if the plane didn't fly, and it flew beautifully, and he even was able to create what he called a parachute maneuver, where he could slow the plane down to nose it up, and at about a 40-degree angle of attack, and the plane would literally parachute down, but he had full control authority over it the whole way down, and it was like, wow, I don't believe this. So that was the very beginning of the revival of the KF airfoil. From there, he went on to produce a number of different aircraft, all using the KF airfoil, from what he called a Blue Baby to a Piranha, which was a step on the top and on the bottom. It was ultimately the KF4 airfoil. He came up with another one with with two steps on the top, the KFM3, which is our heavy lifter because it can carry a lot of weight in the air. In fact, it's used for lifting quite a bit of weight. So, at any rate, he produced the ME-109 and a biplane and just a number of different aircraft, all using the KF airfoil. And people began learning on the Blue Baby, learning how to fly. And it turned out that day when he was flying with his son, he handed the sticks over to his son, and oh my God, he couldn't believe it. The kid didn't crash it. In fact, the kid learned how to fly properly on the KF airfoil, and it was like, gee, I've got a great story for you. A terrific guy named Jack Irbies, who lives up in Ellsworth, Maine. He's an older fella, and he was at the point where he thought, I'm not going to be able to deal with RC aircraft because my hands don't work like they used to, and he just felt that it had passed him by, his window of flying RC aircraft, until he read Tony Bernardo's story and the part about his son Tyler learning how to fly with this, and he figured, gee, if the kid can do it, the kid who crashes everything, I guess I can do it. So he decided to get into it, and by God, if it didn't work for him too. So there's a whole group of very terrific RC people who have contributed to the development of the KF airfoil by experimenting in many, many different ways. And there's so many to thank who have really made big contributions to getting other people involved in this and realizing it's a simple idea in terms of building, minimum expense, can be put together, the wing can be put together in a couple hours or less, and you get really unbelievably stable aircraft with great stall resistance, and there's just an awful lot going for it. And so it's sort of opened up the RC world to more and more people who are doing scratch building. And like, what's the difference between scratch building and going out and buying a kit? Well, from my perspective, a big difference. When you buy something, you don't have the same attachment to it and feeling for it the way you do when it's something that you have built with your own two hands, and also allowing you to become creative and try different things with it, putting fins on it, or moving the step further back, or moving it forward, or putting it in another place. But that's the fun of it, the experimental aspect of it, and this is where the KF really comes into play in terms of being able to try different things. What will happen if I do this? What if I try that? And that's the fun of it, as far as I'm concerned. But it's also helped a lot of people learn how to fly. In fact, there are two people from Missouri, a guy named John and another one named Tim, who are of the Bloody Mix RC foam fighters, and they learned how to fly with Tony's Blue Baby, and they learned how to fly quite well with it. When they tried to fly a normal airplane, and John told me this, he said they really ran into problems because it just didn't handle the way the KF airfoil handled. They sort of had to relearn how to fly with a conventional wing, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But at any rate, the thing is that thanks to YouTube and the RC groups and all the other videos that are put up all around the world now, people get to see how the aircraft is employed for FPV flying. There's some incredible videos out there. A guy named Jaron from Switzerland posted a couple of videos of a KFM-3 flying wing, and the shots over Switzerland, central Switzerland, are just beautiful. He has come up with another version called the KFM-7 with a couple of steps on the top and one on the bottom, and another guy from one of the Russian countries has used it, and he's gotten some incredible videos of it as well. So it's a very stable. Oh, one more fella is a guy from Trond. His name is. He's from Norway, and he's come up with some just amazingly stable videos of this plane flying over the Norwegian coastline. And again, one of the advantages of the KF airfoil is it seems to be able to handle strong winds very well, and I think that's because it's sort of employing some of the air that is trapped, but also supporting it. And one of my thoughts was from when I was experimenting with the KF airfoil, you have these two vortexes, one in each wing, and I personally